The trials of those involved in the January 6th insurrection continue, and none are really as high profile, perhaps, as that of some of the militias and extremist groups that were there in the Capitol that day. The Oath Keepers being one of the most important, perhaps. And so Stewart Rhodes, the leader of the Oath Keepers, was quoted in this trial, and it doesn't look great. Now, they want to say that they did not commit any violent or illegal acts. I'm gonna give you the details that were presented before the court, and I will allow you to draw your own conclusions. Rhodes was heard in a recording from January 10th saying, "My only regret is that they should have brought rifles." He added that they could have, quote, "fixed it right then and there if they had weapons with them at the Capitol." Now, I know that might seem bad, but we don't know what he meant. Maybe they could have let people know how serious they are by firing into the air harmlessly, or maybe they could, no, he's talking about he wishes that they had gunned down Congress. I mean, or maybe I'm being too harsh, maybe just killed Mike Pence, or maybe just killed Joe Biden. I don't know exactly who it is that he wishes they had killed on January 6th. Maybe one person or another, maybe many people, maybe everybody, I don't know. But Stewart Rhodes of the Oath Keepers definitely wishes that more people had been murdered on January 6th. And that to me should really be the end of this trial. I'm not a lawyer, don't go to me for legal advice. But Sabrina, what do you think?
Absolutely unhinged, buddy. If you had brought rifles with you, the damages and the charges would have been way, way worse. Like, are you insane? Like, the correct thing to regret is going at all, that day even happened the way it did. So it's really weird to see them not only double down, but wish that like he went even harder. Yeah, Oath Keepers are kind of scary.
Yeah, exactly. And by the way, again, it's probably needless that I'm gonna play this game, but let's play a little game together. So Stewart Rhodes of the Oath Keepers, who I think we can all agree is probably a conservative, right? On January 10th, he wishes that the people that were there in the insurrection had rifles and had fixed things. That's weird because I was sure that those were Antifa. Those were just Democrats dressed up like good MAGA people. Why would the Oath Keepers want those Antifas to start shooting people? But again, it's ridiculous. Whether they were Antifa or good patriots, just flips back and forth. Every different argument, it's whatever it needs to be. Literally from one conversation to the next, the identity of that mob switches. Except that it doesn't, they were fans of Trump. It's ridiculous to see them try to obfuscate around that. In any event, I want to give you more of the details that were revealed by the Justice Department. First of all, their overall allegation is that Rhodes and members of the Oath Keepers plotted to oppose the peaceful transfer of power, obviously, stockpiling guns and what they called quick reaction forces just outside of DC that could then be brought in. Rhodes' lawyers have noted that he followed DC's strict gun laws, which they say is an indication that he would have only acted upon an order by then President Donald Trump. But the audio recording and other evidence prosecutors presented yesterday suggest that Rhodes planned to disrupt certification of the presidential election regardless of what Trump said. And what they're getting into there is one of his legal defenses, he thinks, is that no. I was only gonna start killing people. We were only gonna start gunning down people if Trump told us to. So we're good, right? That to me does not seem like legal advice. You saying you would have been willing to murder people if the wannabe boy dictator had told you to, but that is the defense that they're going with, Sabrina. It's wild.
I feel like that's such a self-report to say that out loud. Like if a Trump tweet is all it's gonna take for you to murder somebody, if that is your line, these guys should be put on like an extra watch list or something, or somebody look into them because that is unhinged behavior. Yeah, Oath Keepers are really terrifying. It's kind of scary to know that there's a lot of police officers out there who are proudly Oath Keepers, or former police officers who are proud Oath Keepers.
Yep.
Weird values to align yourself with.
Exactly. Yeah, and also it's also BS, by the way. They have these text messages that he was sending with this other guy on the 6th. And Rhodes at one point says, "I see no intent by Trump to do anything, so the patriots are taking it into their own hands." Well, but wait, why aren't you worried about that? After all, you're only there to follow the orders of Donald Trump. You should be aghast at the fact that people are doing something that Trump doesn't support. But of course, it's BS. And look, as Sabrina said, this is crazy and we should be worried about it. Like, think about how many times we were criticized for worrying about or covering insane things that Trump said that we believe might inspire violence. I mean, we literally just did it yesterday with the Mitch McConnell thing where he said Mitch McConnell has a death wish. We say often that there are people out there potentially listening that might act on these things. What is Stewart Rhodes saying? He's saying, I was one of those people who was waiting to be told what to do. He's literally making that case, and yet we will constantly be declared to have Trump derangement syndrome for identifying what some of the most self-professed loyal Trumpists are already saying, literally in a court of law. This isn't something they posted on 4chan. This is their actual defense. I would start killing people if Trump told me to. So yes, I'm a little bit worried about Trump getting back on Twitter. Sue me.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.